Hello and welcome again to the Get Sustainable show produced by ESBN in partnership with Green Europe Today and Livestream Studio. Really excited to welcome today Paulina Kaczmarek, who is Head of Sustainability at Danone Poland Group and is leading the way in driving ESG changes not only in Danone Poland but also in the entire FMCG industry in our region. Thank you very much, Paulina, for joining us today, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here.
Paulina, one area I'm really keen to explore which is an important issue we haven't yet covered much on the show, is the subject of animal welfare and changes in consumer habits. In your latest report, Together for a Better Tomorrow, you talk of the need to move towards a planetary diet, which takes into account a reduction of more than half of meat intake, mainly red, consumed in our diet, limiting the consumption of saturated fats, mainly derived from animal products, as well as reducing the amount of sugar in our diet. So how does this fit in with your strategy, and what latest results and progress can you share on this subject?
I would say it fits really well. We are known for the production of dairy products, 100 years of the production. But we decided to change a bit the strategy. So now we sell also plant-based product. Since 2017, Alpro brand is part of Danone portfolio. Why did we change the strategy and what we think about the future of the food systems? In 2018, there was the publication of famous Eat Lancet Commission report about planetary diet, with the main question how to feed 10 billion people on the planet, to make them healthy, and how to do it in the planetary boundaries. Very important question ahead of us. The main conclusion of the report was that we should eat more plants, fruits, vegetables, plant-based products. We as Danone, we understand it very well, taking into account climate change and all the challenges that we are facing. We believe that we should somehow transform the way we produce food and the way we consume food. This is not the theory itself, like, report and so on. The transition is happening right now. If you look at the numbers, already in Poland, plant-based food is really, let's say, trendy. Yes. So if you look at the numbers, the market of the plant-based products is growing by 40% yearly.
That's amazing.
Yes, young consumer between 18 and 24, they look for plant-based products. And also, talking about the numbers, I think you are interested in that. In 2018, only 10-12% Poles were eating plant-based products. 3 years later, in 2021, it's 27%. We predict that the category, plant-based category, will grow in next 5 years, threefold. And we as Danone, we want to be part of that transition. Therefore, through our products, channels, communication, we support planetary diet, flexitarian diet. We cooperate on this topic with the retailers. And I believe that this part of our activities is appreciated by the society and by the stakeholders. It's
interesting to say that it's growing at a rate of 40% annually. Am I right in reading that Poland is one of the leaders in Europe in terms of these changes?
Yes, in a way, because of course the market for plant-based product is bigger in the West. However, the speed of the change here is a bit higher, right?
So there's a lot of hope and optimism.
Yes, I would say.
Another area I was really keen to talk to you about is your effort in moving towards regenerative farming as opposed to traditional models. So with rising temperatures and fewer rainy days, soil used for farming is under the risk of erosion, contamination, or even in some cases desertification. So could you please explain to us what exactly are the risks of current farming practices, what regenerative farming is, and what you are doing to help speed up the transition to these methods in Poland?
Probably you know that in the EU, 60-70% of soils, they are not in the good health or in the good conditions. So we have to do something about it. We hear every day about biodiversity loss, we hear about climate change consequences, and we need to adapt simply. Regenerative agriculture is the concept and the practices. This is quite fresh concept, but gaining speed. Yes. So, what is regenerative agriculture? It's a way of cultivating soil to protect the organic matter, to store water, and also to take care of carbon emission. For us, for Danone, it's also taking care of animal welfare and the development of the farmers. So it's really about sustainable development. And talking about what we do with our farmers in Poland. So our companies in Poland cooperate with 240 farmers on daily basis. We source milk and also carrots, apples, all of the ingredients needed for the production. And what we do, currently we are in the process of working with our farmers to introduce regenerative agriculture practices. So we prepare special handbook, we organize trainings, we organize meetings. Till the end of the next year, 2023, we want to audit all our farmers to check where they are when it comes to regenerative agriculture practices. And to give you a few examples, what does it mean to introduce regenerative agriculture practices? It's about introducing different methods of cultivating soil. For example, no tillage, crops rotation. It's about combining animal production with crops production. It's about cover crops, right? So it's a mix of old and new techniques in the agriculture. And I know that you are interested in real life examples. So one example from the farmer that is working in Województwo Kujawsko-Pomorskie, which is Kujawia region. Let's call it this way. This is the family farm. They have something like 150 cows and nice area around. So what they introduced is that they introduced the special method of cultivating soil, which is called strip till, which means that the farmer is loosening the soil without turning it over. What does it? And by doing this exercise with the soil, he's also putting seed there and mineral fertilizer. What is the effect for the environment of this method of cultivating soil? First, there is much more water in this soil. Second, it's about so the organic matter also can grow. Yes. And also the farmer is going to this field only once to do this exercise with the soil, put seed, but the same time apply fertilizer, which means that he doesn't have to use that much energy, so the emission is lower, right? So his pocket is also happy because
and he's protecting his land for future seasons as well.
Right. So I think that the upcoming changes, also connected with farm-to-fork strategy and so on, everything what is happening in the EU level will have to change the way we produce, cultivate soils, and so on and so on.
Absolutely. Well, it's great that you're using your great leverage that you have as a big organisation to influence these positive changes on farming practices, showing them the way on how they should grow to secure their business for the future. So really encouraging story. But whilst we're on the subject of food, let's talk a little bit about the actions that help prevent food waste for a moment. In your latest report, you hope to reduce by half food waste globally in your operations by 2030. And actions like these are ever more important when considering the impact, the impeding food crisis we are about to embark on as a result of Russia's blockade of grain exports from Ukraine, which is slightly easing now, but still these movements have been made and there has been a big impact on the food sector. So what actions are you taking to help ensure your products remain affordable and available for consumers, especially in the upcoming seasons?
Managing food waste is important topic socially and for us, for Danones. Every year 3 million tons of food is wasted in this country, so there is a challenge ahead of us. For us, preventing food loss and managing food waste is really one of the top priorities for the company. We did a lot in recent years in our factories to manage the food waste, yes, so we improved the production process in a way to avoid food waste at first, right? Because the first strategy is to avoid the food waste. Once we have the food waste, then the question is what we do with it, right? So, for example, our factory in Bieruń, we are sending the food for animal feeding, and then the last part for the gas production.
This is biogas.
Biogas, right? Biogas production. And then what is important in the context of war, refugees here in Poland and so on, we are partner of Polish Food Banks network. Between 2017 and 2020 we transferred the food that is worth 4 million zlotys. And also now, from February 2022, from the beginning of the war, Russian aggression, we are transferring food to the food banks, and the food banks, they distribute it in Poland among refugees, but also Poles that are somehow in need.
There's a big growing trend of food sharing in general in cities. I noticed that you see food banks and these fridges, communal fridges that are appearing.
That is true.
So the awareness is getting greater on these subjects, and in terms of the sort of sharing culture in general.
Yes, yes. And what I would like to add is also that what we do in the production and with the food banks, this is not the full picture. Last year we decided to accelerate a bit our actions related to managing food waste, and we decided first to start cooperation with the Too Good To Go. So now the consumers, they can save food by using the app. Second, we decided to change the dates on the pack. So we change it from
the due dates,
like due dates, right? So we change it like eat before to the best before.
Yes,
and we encourage consumers simply to check the condition of the product, like smell it, look at it, taste it a bit, and if your
instincts are
telling you it's fine, just eat it, right?
Yeah.
And it should be safe, right? So we encourage. We have special campaign which is under the umbrella often good later on, something like that, right? So really to encourage people to eat food, not to put it in the bin, because it's a huge ethical, energetical, climate problem, you know, just to put it in the bin.
It's really important to support NGOs and charities that work in the area of food waste. I think they're part of the solution for companies like yourself. Are there any charities or NGOs that you'd like to mention now that if somebody would like to support, who should they contact?
Definitely food banks. For me, this is a well-established organization. They have many places in all of the country. They are very effective, and
there's a World Kitchen, I think, is one.
Right. Yes. Caritas. Yes, there are some organizations that are working in that area. But I think that we rely on the food banks, and I know that many people in this country in need rely on the food banks.
Poland is finally adopting a circular deposit scheme for plastic bottles, glass bottles and cans, which will come into the effect from the year 2023. And the aim of the programme is to improve recycling rates in the country, reduce waste, improve consumer habits, and help standardise packaging formats to allow for easier reuse. There is also a growing trend in promoting the quality of tap water in many cities, encouraging people to fill up their own bottles instead of buying bottled water. How do these challenges and shifting trends fit in with Danone's product mix and strategy, which includes one of Poland's leading drinks brands, Żywiec-Zdrój?
First, I think that the most important thing is simply to drink water. Yes, so we need to hydrate ourselves, especially now in summer. Then, tap water. For tap water, some people cannot access it. They are, traveling. They are going to some sports. Some consumers, they look for different quality. Yes, so they look for the spring water from the mountains. This is the water that we deliver to the consumers through shops, through retailers. So yes, so I understand that there is like space for tap water and bottled water. Of course, we as Żywiec-Zdrój, because part of the Danone Group of companies in Poland is Żywiec, you mentioned
yes.
about it, Żywiec-Zdrój. So we are aware of the plastic challenge, yes, that we have globally and also here in the country. And we are not avoiding responsibility for plastic we put on the market. In 2018, at Climate Summit, COP24, we announced our commitment. By that time, we said that in 2020, we would like to collect that much plastic that we put on the market. We also said by that time that we
by
want
2030, yes, is it?
No, we said that we would
by 2020.
in 2020
okay.
we would like to do it.
Okay.
We also said that we believe that the only way to close the loop for plastic packaging is to introduce deposit system.
Absolutely, yes.
And from that time we started to work with the stakeholders on the introduction of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the results of our actions? We are now in 2022. For 2 years, in 2020 and in 2021, together with Recopol, we collected the equivalent of the plastic that we put on the market.
That's amazing. In the first year?
In 2020 and then in 2021. So we are really happy that we did it. I invite people to to look at the website Strony Natury, where you can find more information about it. And also we worked a lot on the introduction of the deposit system in Poland for single-use bottles and reusable bottles. Now we have that there is this draft bill to introduce deposit system. We are really happy that we have this draft bill. The system will be led by the producers. In the scope, we would have PET bottle, aluminium can, and single-use glass and reusable glass, which is really great. There are some challenges. We as producers, we believe that the draft bill should be changed a bit. We would like to have one national operator to manage the system, not competing operators, right? So we believe that it should be one non-profit organization to manage the system and not
it shouldn't be commercialized.
Few operators, because we believe it will be a challenge and confusion both for consumers and producers. So we are still advocating to follow the best European practices and to have one non-profit operator that would be responsible for setting up the system and collecting the bottles. What we did more, just shortly, we also introduced packs that are made from recycled plastic, like 1 liter bottle that is 100% rPET. And also together with one of the retailers, we introduced reverse vending machines to collect bottles. 25 of them are already standing in this country to test how the collection should look like and learn and educate consumers. Yeah,
packaging is a huge challenge, and it is even more difficult because it comes down to the carbon footprint generated by the life cycle of the packaging, not just so in some areas a deposited glass bottle might not be the best solution if our aim is to reduce emissions.
Yes,
because we're carrying a lot of air, empty air.
Yes, that is true. So if we would be able to introduce a deposit system for all the packs for beverages, it would be really great for the environment. And then simply you buy a beverage, you drink it, and then you put it in the machine or you give it back to the shop. And this material is going to a place,
to a local sorting center,
yes. Sorting center, and then recycler, and then this material can come back to us as part of the new plastic bottle, or new aluminium can or new glass.
Great opportunity for investments in the whole recycling industry. So
yes, but to be honest, the legislative framework is not clear yet.
Okay, well. Finally, it is becoming ever more likely that we are looking towards reduced availability of gas and oil in the upcoming winter season, and companies who have already made the transition to renewable energy are going to be less affected. Where is Danone on this journey? How prepared are you to move away from fossil fuels, and where lay the biggest risks and areas for improvement?
Oh, it's really hot topic now. A few years ago, we announced our strategy. We would like to become carbon neutral by 2050. We measure our carbon footprint. We did a lot in our factories to reduce carbon footprint in recent years, especially in the factories of Żywiec-Zdrój, for example, in the south. Also in the factory of Nutricia, we did some investments. Now the thermal energy is coming from gas only, which helped us to reduce carbon emission by 40%, which is a lot. Yes, but the current geopolitical situation, the current political discussions, they impact us. I don't know if you know, but there might be energy shortages in autumn and winter. I mean gas and electricity. Currently, together with other food companies, we are in the process of the dialogue with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Climate to protect somehow food industry from the cuts of energy, because it is very much connected with the food security of this country.
Already exacerbated with the situation.
Yes. The current governmental orders that are in place for electricity and gas, in those orders, food industry is not protected. It's treated like any other industry, like, I don't know, car production or something. While, for production, I don't know, of bread, fruits, meat, milk, it's very much important to have a stable...
the basic human needs.
Right. So, but we have a good sign. Last week, the Minister of Agriculture said that they believe the food industry should be somehow protected. So let's hope it will materialize. But in the other way, I believe that this crisis or this challenge will help us to even accelerate the transition from fossil fuels into renewables. And I believe that this challenge, this crisis, will give us opportunity to do some investments even faster in our company. Well,
fingers crossed that common sense will prevail, and that this will just be a driver for more changes in our energy mix in the future. Thank you very much, Paulina. I could be talking to you for hours. It's been really interesting.
Yes,
but we need to leave something for next time, maybe.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your work and insights with our audience. Finally, the Get Sustainable show was developed not only to promote sustainable changes in the world of business through implementation of ESG policies, but also to showcase the wealth of knowledge and expertise that Poland offers on this subject internationally. If you are looking to expand your business with your sustainable products and services using ESG as a driver for change, then please get in touch with our team at contact@greeneuropetoday.com for partnership opportunities. Thank you very much for watching today, and see you again next week. Goodbye.